Hello everyone, this video is strictly for people that have been wondering who would win in a competition against Winnie, Marge and Jam, because they are all competing today. I've been very good, I'm doing my homework and we've come to do a little combined training at Allens Hill because, as you should know by now, the dressage kind of went a little bit to pieces for Winnie at Bigton. In fact, the last two events, the excitement has just got the better of us in the dressage with me and Win. So I knew I had to go and do some little like pure dressage and pure jumping competitions. So I thought I would strike while the iron's hot and actually do it with everyone, because Marge and Jammy are off to Frickley in, well, it's next weekend. In like 10 days, less than 10 days. We've got a bit of a crazy schedule at the minute because I'm actually off to France tomorrow. And yeah, everything's all a little bit up in the air, but it's fine. And I'm really pleased that we have actually managed to get organised and come today. It's taken quite a lot because with all of my stuff in, the horses, I can't take two horses in my box. So I've called upon lots of friends and they're all coming in a separate horse box today. So Jammy and Marge will be arriving shortly, but it's also exciting because Winnie is doing her first ever meter class. So they're all doing a novice dressage, they're all doing novice 1. And then Winnie and Jam are doing the meter and Marge is actually doing the 90 because it's her first little like proper thing back since her virus really. So I didn't want to come out and do our first meter together, especially with Frickley coming up. I just wanted to have a nice confidence-giving, happy time. She's been feeling 100%. She's really, really good. But yeah, I thought it'd be silly to do 100 with her today. So I think it's all going to be the same judge in the dressage, and the jumping, Winnie's just going to have to jump a bit bigger and be against them. But I'm very intrigued to see who actually does best. So get your predictions in now. Who do you think will win? Because we'll be able to do the exact dressage mark and then we'll be able to do faults in the show jumping. So although they're technically in different classes, we will be able to know who's done best. I'm really struggling with the dressage as to whether Marge or Jammy will do better. Sorry, Win, that's a bit rude. Yeah, I don't think Winnie's going to lead the dressage, I'm not going to lie. This dressage for Win is about actually getting her in there and sort of educating her that she can't, as soon as she gets between the whiteboards, do whatever she wants. Because that's the trouble, every time we do dressage, it's important, like we're doing a qualifier or trying to get a qualifier, and it's always a bit damage control when we're in there. Whereas today, if she mucks about, I'm going to be like, no, and correct it when I'm in there. Hey? More like a training session within the boards. We're also not platted, guys, I'm sorry. It was just the thought of getting 3 horses platted and also doing all the horses this morning and getting all the different boxes packed. It was too much. I'm a terrible person. I will apologise to the judge. Right, I'm going to leave Peter to lock that up because he is my personal assistant. My reins have also got martingale stoppers on, which is bad, but we'll make do. We will make do. Okay, definite bit of pigmentation there. A few wrinkles, nothing major. A little bit of dryness and oh no, not flakiness. That's just your food actually. It's a very simple fix, Jam Bam. I recommend Skin and Me. Okay, I'm just messing. Please do not try putting Skin and Me on your horses, but they are the wonderful sponsor of this video. And for once, it's a product for looking after ourselves and not the ponies, because equestrians, you cannot fight me on this. But I know we are quite bad for putting everything we possibly can into our horses and then very much neglecting ourselves. And something we should not be neglecting is our skin. We have to have it our entire lives. We need to look after it, and Skin and Me is the best way I have found of doing that. Mainly for me, it was things like pigmentation. I used to get quite a lot on my cheeks. Dark circles, actually. The late nights really have taken their toll on me from editing well into the early hours of the morning. And I used to get quite bad circles under my eyes and also just general sort of dryness. So with the wedding coming up at some point, I have set myself a little bit of a task to actually take my self-care a little bit more seriously. Inside this perfect little parcel is my daily doser, which comes through the post every single month. So if we open her all up, you can see it actually says "For Meg" on there, and the cutest little note about being on a mission to say goodbye to my dark spots and pigmentation. All sounds incredibly tailored, doesn't it? That is because it really is. This is specifically for me and my skin, and that's because when I first signed up with Skin and Me, I did a brief online consultation to tell them everything I knew about my skin. They make it super easy because although I've taken skincare quite seriously, I didn't actually know very much about it. So they take you through all of the steps. You can describe your skin, you can say what you want to work on, and then at the end you actually send pictures, front and side profile, and then that goes away to their team of experts and they will work on making the perfect daily doser just for you. Now what's brilliant about this is it's composed of a variety of ingredients that they think will work for your skin, most of which I had no idea what they were or what they would actually do for my skin. It's something I couldn't have achieved by myself because I wouldn't have known where to start at all. And that's why it's so fantastic having their experts, because they do all of the hard work for you and they just come up with the perfect daily doser that will work for your skin. So guys, if you fancy investing in yourselves a little bit alongside your horses, then I have got a really great deal for you with Skin and Me. So if you use my code Elphick8, it will get you your first daily doser for the amazing price of $4.99. An amazing way to get started with them. Hopefully you'll love it as much as I do, and then following that, your daily doser will come through the post every single month, and that'll be $24.99. Definitely worth checking them out. They have been absolutely brilliant, and I know they have helped so many people with achieving their skincare goals. So I'm going to leave a link down below, guys. Big thank you to Skin and Me for sponsoring this video. Welcome to the start of what's going to be essentially a voiceover marathon, because I'm currently looking at all of the riding footage and we've got about half an hour of it. That is crazy stuff. So let's crack down straight on with the business. So first up, we have got Winnie Woo doing her dressage. We're doing a novice test. I want to say it's novice 2, but that could be a complete and utter lie. So I'd say that centerline started off nice and then definitely got wobbly towards the end, and you can see some tension sort of crept in and that followed through round the corner. Her tail is just the coolest thing ever. I do sometimes wonder when Winnie gets good marks, is it because the judges were looking at her tail and they got distracted? Anyway, certainly looking more settled there. We've got overall a nicer picture. I would say I am just rushing her a little bit, which is very interesting. I think both her and Marge being that bit lazier and maybe a bit more behind the leg than Jammy has really made me struggle this season, to be honest, and it's not what I'm used to. Like Dee and Jam oopsie, were always very forward going, and I'm now kind of struggling with getting the right balance between having them forward and looking active and actually rushing them. That kind of transition was obviously pretty dire, so we'll move past that. I actually thought the circle was a good recovery, but I can understand why we got a 6, because overall the transition sort of ruined the picture a little bit, and you can see definitely some tension and definitely like this sort of 4-beat canter. It was Jam's nemesis, the canter. She was 4-beat for years, and Winnie is following in her footsteps. So that ideally we'd have got back to the track before we did our downward transition, but it's just a lack of balance that Win really struggles to get to the track and then make that turn. Now, it was very handy doing this test because we have a very similar movement in our badminton qualifier test, and actually I've realised now that I was making it far too harsh, especially for Winnie, who's a lot greener. Oops. So yeah, I should make the loop sort of just make it easier, like get shallower quicker, if that makes sense, so that it's not get to the track and then you're doing nearly a 90-degree turn to get straight again. So I would say that trot work was all pretty tense. The serpentines, we struggled a little bit with the change of bend.
Again, this canter, I just want that hind leg to be a little bit stronger. It's something we're working on at home, and she does just struggle with it a little bit. What I will say as well is this arena at Allen's Hill is very spooky because on the right hand side there's a big sort of construction yard and there's always so much going on. This was on a weekday as well, so I think Winnie was doing pretty well to actually hold it together. So now we're going back to this transition at the track, which again we had a little wobble at the end, but certainly not terrible. Seeing a lot of comments about suppleness, and I absolutely agree. This is my attempt at a medium trot, guys. Don't laugh. Yeah, more push, 100%. I don't know what it is, but it's something to do with me because I just cannot get horses to do medium trot. I just can't teach it to them. I've tried so much. The only one I've managed to properly teach it to is Dee Dee. And she's obviously not competing at the moment. So yeah, I need help with that. So then we're going into our free walk. It's actually quite good doing this now because it has been a little while since this competition and I've not actually watched these tests back. So I quite like sometimes forgetting exactly what happened and watching it almost from a judge's point of view. I think it's easier to then be, I guess, critical. I know I get told off for being critical. However, the whole point of doing this is so that we can improve and hopefully get the marks down. Now this was meant to be a stretchy trot. She's meant to sort of like the free walk, meant to take the rein down and stretch her neck out. I think the second half of it we were starting to get there, but the first half she just wasn't sort of relaxing. I am really noticing the tempo on this one. I definitely need to slow it down and just chill out a little bit. I think that's maybe why I've started losing the good marks on Winnie's, because I've just started rushing her a bit too much. Oh my gosh, that halt makes me so proud. Look at her, a little bit fidgety, but she was so square. So that's, yeah, pretty good going and not bad for her first ever novice test, which realistically is a little bit ahead of where she's training. Just wanted to practice doing another halt on the way out to stop her being so fidgety. But big pats, very pleased with her.
Warning from the past, to make sure you're learning from mistakes that you did last. Send me a letter when you're done, evaluating what your short life has become. You should know, you should know. Try to cover up your ways in light of what you've seen so far. There are better ways. Throw preconceptions down the drain, 'cause this is your last chance. You should know, you should know. To go this time tomorrow, the future I will show.
First dressage out the way. Now, it definitely wasn't great in terms of what it's gonna look like at the end. However, it was very good because every time she went to do one of her annoying little things that she always does when we're in the board and she knows she can get away with it, I was like, nah, we're not doing it. So her canter transitions were pretty bad, but I was trying to not...
Second one I think was better.
Second one was better. She learnt for the first one.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, and you were like, nah, and I think that was really good. Yeah, I did see that.
It's just things like that, like the free walk, she got a bit distracted and normally I'd just try and do damage control, but I was like, no, have a contact and stretch again.
I liked your trot across the diagonal
Did she get a glimmer of medium?
You could see it.
You know, I was
I'm gonna get
surprised. I was like, oh bless you, you've actually opened up a tiny bit.
Yeah, she did look like she was trying.
Yeah, just little things like, again, she was like, oh, I don't want to go into that corner, and I was more like, no, you're going in, because I think, it's my fault because she's not done enough of this stuff, but every test has meant something, and she's just gotten used to.
You just wanted it.
Being able to get away with stuff in there, and she's clever and she knows, so that was very beneficial, very good indeed. So I think now I'm gonna dressage Jammy, hands bought Jam.
I haven't.
She's over there somewhere. Winnie's like,
away
Jam?
from Winnie.
Mummy's here. We're not gonna have time to do proper score predictions today. We might have to go back to the old way.
No.
We might have, just for today.
Okay.
Eventing, we'll go back to proper ones. The old way.
When you all just say it out loud.
Pete's like, praise the Lord. I think...
What is it? It's backwards scoring, isn't it?
I think Pete should go first.
But you can say, we can work it out, so you can say not backwards scoring if you want. Like you can say,
That's true. It's just the inverted. Yeah,
but you can work it out.
Okay. There were mistakes. I just would love for her to be a bit more settled and up in the frame as well.
I also think that with eventing dressage, you get away with a lot more than you do.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not pure dressage here, but I think that they'll be a little bit harsher than eventing.
And I think she dropped behind the vertical a bit because I was trying so hard to be like, no, stay together.
Yeah.
But then I think she was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to sit on your hand. Pete says 65.
I'm going to go 67, I think.
Oh, I was thinking 67.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go 67.5. What do I go? Yeah, 67.5. Oh no, I thought I had saved the one that had the good spray. I haven't.
Oh, have you thrown the other one away?
Yeah. No. Right, you're going to go in your box for a minute and have your hay in it, okay?
Probably cooler in there than it is out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear, does it smell funny?
Yes, it does actually, Mummy.
Does it smell funny? Well done. You're going to come off and you're going to jump in a minute. Mate, she's doing her first meter today.
I know, I saw that. I'm actually impressed with you.
Because Hobbs isn't here. I haven't told Hobbs.
But I think that you get away with it with Win, with Hobbs, no?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've been speaking about moving her up a metre eventing, so
Yeah, I don't think
it makes sense that I do it show jumping first. Right, my angel, you stay there and you be good. If you see Jam, no, you didn't. Oh, I'm regretting the long sleeve stock shirt now.
I bet. I've overdone their feed as well.
Have you?
Yeah, when I did the mash, I was like, that's a lot of mash. Obviously, need to add a lot of water to that. But yeah, right, I'm going to go and get Jammy off.
Love you.
Can I leave you these, please? Thank you.
You don't want those?
I don't want those, they're yours.
Did you? Oh yeah, you've got all the tack, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got everything. I just need you and you ready. I've got a sponge and...
You ready?
Oh, and can you give me a brush?
Yes.
Got like a little grooming. Will you bring one over? Just
Yeah, I'll bring one over.
Thank you, bye.
Live, love, love.
Live, laugh, love.
So we then had a rather quick turnaround to hop on Jammy to do her dressage. Now, as I said at the start, they're all doing the same test. It was the same judge. So it's actually very, very interesting to look and compare the marks. So immediately, a much nicer entry. I mean, that I'm pretty pleased with that. It looked very straight. Jam looked nice and relaxed, nice and active, but not too much, not rushing her. Very, very pleased with that one indeed. Here, I think we could just have a little bit more inside bend and flexion, but we've got a 7, so certainly can't complain about that. It is funny watching these back to back because she just looks a lot more relaxed and supple than Winnie, but Jam doesn't get as excited by the whole thing as Winnie does now because obviously Jam has got many more miles under her belt. I would say we could make the bend slightly more obvious in those serpentines, but they're put well placed, so that's good. Had a nice sized serpentine. That canter transition for me was just a little bit like I dribbled into it. I think we could have had a sharper transition. However, Jam stayed relaxed, so I don't think it was awful at all. Quite liking this canter circle at the moment. It's really weird seeing the horses not flatted. It's like, it's playing with my eyes. I'm like, is she coming above the bridle? No, it's just her mane floating in the wind. Yeah, this canter actually looking really, really nice. Lovely tempo, for more marks, we could potentially try and get Jam's frame a little tiny bit more like up and out. But with the way she's built, I'd say for her, this is pretty good. And then we do these turn backs to the tracks. I don't know if that 15 meter circle was ever so slightly too big. And then again, they've put balance, which I would agree with. I don't think I was riding that movement very well at all. As I said with Win, I just needed to make it a little bit easier for the horses, which is definitely something I'll take away. And now we've got the tension. So that downward transition from canter was unbalanced, and Jam knows when she's done something a bit, I was gonna say not good, but you know, like she's perfect in every way, but she knows when something wasn't great, and then it makes her tense, bless her. So we definitely threw some marks away in that serpentine, and I think that's why doing these shows is so good, because I need to go back and do it again and have no pressure, and sort of work through some different things and see what works for us in the test. Like if I loosened my rein a bit, if I gave her a little scratch on the wither, would that have released the tension much quicker? So it's all these kind of things that I want to experiment with. This canter looking nice. I love Jam's canter. She's just got such a epic canter. And going back into our loop, will I have learnt my lesson? It's unlikely, but I will wait with bated breath. Trotted early. Yeah, I mean, it is hard to get right to the track and then you're in the corner because it's at the marker at the corner. So I should actually try and find this test of someone like, oh, do you know, Jam, that medium trot, yes, it's rushed. Yes, it was rushed, but I saw a little toe flick there. Yeah, as I was saying, I'd like to actually watch a proper dressage person do this test. That downward transition was shocking. Lack of preparation, which then, made us against the hand, as the judge said. And now going into our free walk. It's quite hard from this angle to actually tell if we've got a very good stretch, but from what I can remember, I think she stretched enough. We could perhaps have a little bit more purpose, but it's difficult. First, could have more purpose. Guys, am I a dressage judge? I think so. Yeah, it's hard with the walk, isn't it? Especially because Jam's quite hot. It's very easy to make her jog in the walk, so I will admit that I often do just try and play it safe because I'm scared that I'll lose her. Jamelia, so much tension. That's meant to be our nice, relaxed, stretchy trot, and instead she said to the judge, no, I'm terribly against the hand today. Sorry, I'm very tense. Okay, back up the centre line. Can we nail it as much as the first one? It's always harder because you're turning like you're doing a 90-degree turn, aren't you? You've not come from outside the arena, but slight wobble at the end, but not awful. And then boom! I don't know what was going on with my halts this day, but the ponies absolutely nailed them. So very, very pleased indeed. Yeah, nice test.
I keep on thinking about the words, how you say them when they hurt. I turn them inside out to see if there's a hidden message for me. I'm hoping, I'm wishing that one day you listen so we can connect again. I'm feeling the purpose, I know we're not perfect, but my soul is reaching out. I'm gonna hand you the truth, hand you the truth. I ain't got a calling card. What can I do? Froze up by you, taking me by surprise. Word has it, what word has it? Whisper through the grapevine. Word has it, what word has it? Whisper through the grapevine. Fade out. I always thought that it could work. Am I the one who will get burned? I see the glances, you're faking it. How long will you keep playing it? I'm hoping, I'm wishing that one day you listen so we can connect again. I'm feeling the purpose. I know we're not perfect, but my soul is reaching out. I'm gonna hand you the truth, hand you the truth. I ain't got a calling card.
So timings were extremely tight to now go and jump. So I decided to jump Jammy first because she was all like warmed up and out of the box. So we warm up in the arena. There was these 2 set fences that you could like warm up as much as you wanted to over. So always start with a cross pole with my ponies. It's just what I find works. So I really like trot jumping them to start with. I find it really, really wakes them up and just makes them think where their legs are. You can see Jammy there got a little bit close and did a really good job of getting herself out of the way. Then we played over a little upright, just your kind of standard warm-up, to be honest. Although I do find learning about other people's warm-ups so interesting because people do have very set rules. Like I know a few people that always start over like a fairly decent square oxer, whereas I just couldn't. I like the trot jumping. I think because I get nervous, I think it helps because I know like it kind of jolts me into riding to be honest, and I know it wakes the horses up. I think it's just a win-win all round. Then pop the upright up a little bit and asked Nat if she could put a cross in front of the oxer. So it's not something I always do. Ooh, a little bit close there, but we're waking the pony up. Yes, Jammy got a very deserved pat. Yeah, sometimes I do quite like just having a little cross rail oxer. Other times I will have a squarer one. It kind of depends how the warm-up's going. To be honest, with Jam, she's so careful and so good that her warm-up isn't so much like planned to make her super snappy and try and sort of get her crazy awake for the ring. It's more about making sure that her body is nice and supple and nice and warmed up. So for that reason, having a cross in front of an oxer is just, you know, it's just a very kind fence. It's a nice way of warming her up. So she jumped that nicely, and then I did have a squarer oxer, and I believe after this we go into a round because she jumped it very, very sweetly. Yeah, very pleased with her warm-up, and then we will go into our round. Ding-a-ling, let's go. So this is a meter class, and obviously the horses have had some advantage by being in the arena and doing their warm-up. You're not allowed to jump the fences that are in the course, but just by being in there, it does obviously settle them and help them out. So we start off with those 2 like fairly decent oxers, and then this dog leg here, which Jam was really, really clever with because I was trying to not go to my hand too much, and I just sort of let her run into the bottom a bit, and she did a really nice job of actually backing herself up and getting her feet out of the way. And then onto this related, I hadn't actually walked this, but I think that was the set distance because I did find myself having to move a little bit, but I was very pleased that I did decide to move. Here she really spooks. There was a horse there was a horse grazing down the bank the other side, and she just caught it out the corner of her eye, bless her, and really spooked, but then actually made the double really nice. That was a little bit sloppy. I think I was just in my recovery mode from the double and went to my hand a little bit and added a stride. And then over that oxer, again, potentially I could have taken a stride out there and just moved a little bit more, but quite happy. To be honest, guys, I was actually really happy with this round. I really enjoyed it, and I thought Jam felt absolutely class, and I was quite pleased with my riding, to be perfectly frank. So she did a lovely clear round.
I was young and you were broken, but we did the best we could. So many words left unspoken, 'cause we never understood that we get one chance to make it right. I wish I knew back then how to say sorry when it's just for the best.
We had it all, I was too young, way too young. I'm drowning in our memories with bittersweet intensity. Gone.
round to get back into the show jumping ring. It was rapido. You'd have been very impressed, guys. I don't actually know if we managed to film much of it though, because they wanted to put the fences down for the next class, so we had to quickly get on Winnie Woo. So this is obviously her first meter, which is incredibly exciting and a massive milestone. It does make me laugh because in some ways I think Winnie's very green, but in other ways I actually think she's doing really well. I was going to say really well for her age, but I guess that's not the way of phrasing it, because she is 7 and a lot of people do a lot more with their 7-year-olds. But given her experience, I'm actually really pleased with how she's coming along, and she really lights up with the jumping. She doesn't find the flat work particularly easy. She definitely doesn't find sitting on her hocks and engaging her core easy at all. However, when there's a fence in front of her, she tries her absolute heart out, and it's actually been a technique I've used to strengthen her at home, is to just sometimes pop a little fence out just to keep her brain engaged. And it's not really a jumping session, she's actually doing a flat work session, but because there's a little fence in the arena, she doesn't realise. So you'll notice the warm-up is very similar to Jam's. I literally start all of my horses with trot jumping and crossbar. I don't think that will ever change. Now, Winnie would be one where I'd have a slightly more tailored warm-up, in the sense that she needs to be woken up before she goes into the ring. So God bless this pony, I absolutely love her to pieces, but she's easy to switch off, shall we say. There's not always like a phenomenal amount of brain cells working upstairs, so she needs to be kept awake, she needs to be challenged in the warm-up. So this obviously was just a training show, and I actually wanted to just give her a nice warm-up, and the main thing was that she had a nice time and we were tackling our first meter sort of thing. But at BE, or like out eventing, I would probably end her over like a bigger upright and ask her to get a little bit closer to the fence, just to make her think, oh, I need to snap up and really be concentrating. So you may actually notice sometimes before Win goes in to the arena, she'll have the last practice fence down, which when that happens, I'm like, actually, this has worked out pretty perfectly, because she just needs that little like, oh, I need to be quick on my feet. Right, let's get going around the course. I was actually feeling surprisingly okay about this course. I think some of them were quite full up, but I don't know, it just didn't look crazy daunting. I think it was quite an inviting course. Not everything was full up a meter. So I was like, right, we can do this, especially after I jumped that first oxer, because that was actually quite big. Nice shot into that big oxer there. And actually, really like how I rode that. I think potentially I could have either sort of just sat up a little bit more and used my shoulders to have given her that extra space, or maybe moved forward. That was silly riding from me, but we moved past it. Just got a little bit indecisive going into that one and ended up adding stride and going to my hand. But Winnie recovered very well from it, and she actually jumped them really nicely, so not a big deal. Coming into this double, I'd obviously had to work quite hard with Jam to make the distance because of the spook, so I did come in a little bit defensive and was like, oh, like we're going. But actually she made the distance quite easily. Got a bit underneath that one, but again, Win worked super hard. Nice little change of leg. I was just trying to make the whole thing relaxing, happy, nice experience. Oh my god! I just had a moment where I was like, oh, we're jumping our first meter. I'm so proud of her. And then did that inside turn again. A little bit handsy there. And added that stride with a wonk. Not with my hand, but with a wonk. And then she gave me such a nice jump over that oxer. Absolutely buzzed with her. Right, time for dressage on Margie Moo. Honestly, guys, I'm getting tired doing all these voiceovers, let alone actually riding it all in the day. Don't know how I managed. So, it is time for the final dressage test of the day. Now we're on Lovely Marge, and we're obviously doing the same novice test. So, I find that interesting because I thought that was quite a good centre line until the final couple of strides. Obviously, the judge said about being more positive. I thought what might have lost me the 0.5 of a mark that Jam had, because Jam got an 8, would have been that turn at the end because I sort of veered off. But anyway, we are now onto our test. So this was my first time wearing spurs on Marge in a dressage test. And the reason behind that is I often find when she gets between the boards, she drops off my leg a bit, and she knows, she's a very intelligent mare, she knows that I then can't do much about it. So I thought, do you know what, I'll pop spurs on and I'll give away a few marks. I thought that serpentine was actually really nice. I thought that deserved more than a 6.5. Yeah, so the spurs were there to just act as a little bit of a, like, no, come on, you've got to stay in front of my leg. So she does overreact to them slightly, which obviously loses us marks in places, but this was with the long game plan in mind. That canter, really nice. Okay, more jump. Yep. I mean, canter with more jump all the time would just be fantastic. So that is always something we're striving for and working for at home. But I would say, yeah, I'd say it's quite nice. Actually, the more we canter around, the more I'm seeing, the more jump. Yeah, I can actually very much see that. I just want a little bit more sort of elevation and a bit more time in the air. Suspension, is that the word I'm looking for? Oh, that was, yeah, not great riding for me because you see, as I was going back across the diagonal, my hand went forward and I lost the contact with her, and I think she thought, oh, am I going to trot? And then I was like, no, we're not trotting. So scrappy riding from me there. And then we go into this serpentine. We know serpentines Marge finds a bit more difficult than other movements because she just struggles to get that up on us, and I was quite persistent there. I was like, no, bend, and that's why we got that little hop into canter and obviously got to the 4 for it. But then quite a smart transition, but then she dropped behind my leg and I was like, no, and yeah, we had that shoot forward. So I imagine we'll have given some marks away for that. But as I said, this is very much a training test, and it was to iron out some of the issues we've been having. Still managed to get a 7, and that was the transition included. I guess the circle was quite nice, so that probably saved our bacon and managed to bump it back up. Just a bit against my hand there. I was trying to be like, no, keep the suppleness. Sometimes she has a tendency on this left rein to go a bit quarters in, so I was just trying to correct that. Now, was that too small? That first 15 metre? Yeah, balance lost 100%. Interesting. I need to practice this more at home because I'd say all of my teardrops were pretty poor, to be honest. This is our attempt at medium. No real difference. Yeah. Yep, I would agree, but doesn't make it hurt any less. No, I'm joking. It's not something I've played around with on Marge, to be honest. It was one of those things that I entered this a bit last minute and then was like, oh gosh, there's medium trot, and it was also rushed. Margie didn't get a particularly good warm up for this, and I got into the arena and I was like, have I ever even tried to do medium trot on this pony? So yeah, that's more my fault than anything else. Into our, finishing our free walk. First step's more purpose. Right, I definitely need to try and get that purpose in the walk. It's just so hard. I'm a little bit of a snowflake with the walk. I do err on the side of safety, but so often, especially BD, the walk marks are doubled, so it's worth putting the time in. So this is definitely my best stretchy trot. I will not be told otherwise. She actually went down. We didn't lose any rhythm. Yeah, 7. Fair. I'd say just a little bit unbalanced in that corner then, to be honest. I think maybe I hadn't regained my contact, like got the reins short enough, because I was probably trying to do it in a way that Margie didn't react. I'd say that's a pretty nice centre line. Yeah, boy! 8. And another epic halt. Like, how cool are these ponies? They were just halting amazingly.
A significant light, just where it was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing, faces merge and change, but your face remains the same. The swallows will be here by dawn, and when we're finally sober, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt.
Hello again, guys. We haven't done a debrief in a long time. In fact, I'm just about to do my last jumping round. But so far, so good. I think Marge's hair colour might be in Nat's lorry.
Okay.
But we've a spare in this one. We just remember to put a spare back in. Yeah, Marge has just done her dressage and actually really pleased with it because I got to just get a little bit more stuck in than I normally would at an event. It's just that left side where she blocks a bit, and that's why we messed up that last serpentine, because you need quite a lot of left leg to get her to stay up through her shoulder and bend, and then she just popped into canter because she got a bit confused. But other than that, I was really, really chuffed with her. She's just, I love riding her in the flat. Yeah, I want me to get a little bit of the sweat off. I think we can actually breathe for a second now. Yeah, she's just lovely to ride on the flat because she doesn't react like mine do. Oh, bless you, Nat. You didn't need to bring all that over. You legend, thank you. Nat has been working behind the scenes, guys. She brought Margie over for me and she's now taking Winnie Woo home. It's actually all slotted together very well. I'm quite impressed. I think Hobbit's going to be impressed.
Hobbit's interesting.
I don't-
Ran a lot, Hobbs.
Hands ran a lot, but it's good. We need to do score predictions.
The jammy as well.
Yeah, we need to do jam as well. Nat, you didn't see Marge's test, did you? Oh, so you can't predict. Score predictees.
Sure.
Kind of forgotten what we said for Winnie, but let's go in with jammy predictions first. 0.5, hands at 67. Ooh. Right, who went first last time?
Peter.
Okay, I'll go first for jam. I am going to say 69 for jam.
I'm going to go 69.5.
71, okay. And then Hannah, you get to go first for Marge.
Okay, Marge, I am going to go 60. 66.5, I think.
Oh!
That she cantered wrong. She
did
a few things that I thought.
Oh, what else didn't you like?
You can do better than that, I thought.
Oh, I thought she was quite sweet.
I thought she was quite sweet, but I did think that she. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
I was going
no,
to say. Do you want to go first or me to go first, Pete?
The
I
problem
was
is
going to say
that
70 for
yeah,
her.
the other bits were. I said the problem. The other bits were really nice, but she did.
She did, but
It showed like a bit of disobedience, and
oh
sometimes
no,
I
it
don't
was
like
it was confusion. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was confusion.
I love you,
wasn't it?
Maggie, but I just think slightly. I think because I can see what tests she can do.
Yeah. Do you know what? It comes up thick and fast in there.
Yeah. She
That-
just looked a little bit in almost all the trot, a little bit like, can I canter now? Can I canter now?
She's
She just looked a
keen.
little bit, yeah.
Because I'm finally feeling better and I want to get going.
She's like, this is amazing.
Good girl.
Let's go.
Well, this was the first time I've ever ridden with her with spurs on, which I don't think I will do at Frickley, but I wanted to do one so I could be like, I've got them, and then hopefully at Frickley she'll think, oh,
Have you got spurs on?
I need to be in front of the leg. All right, last round of show jumping. Tell you what, it is warm.
It is warm. I'm stressing, Meg, that you leave me with these horses.
Yeah, so I go to France tomorrow, and then poor Han. So we're seeing my grandparents live out in France, so we're kind of going with the family. And poor Han is going to be left because me and Hobbs will both be out there for the same time. Hobbs is going for the longest time, might I add.
Might I add?
Might I add. But yeah, poor Hannah is on pony duty. And then, not only that, but she is going to have to pack the lorries. I'm going to try and leave the lorries as packed as possible.
We're having a little sleepover, aren't we?
And Marge, she's going to kidnap you and take you to Yorkshire.
Is that okay? I'm going to take
She's
you to
like,
Yorkshire.
she put her ears forward to know it's closer to Scotland. I'm closer to
Please.
home.
Yeah,
And then
little
poor
girl.
Nat has got the horses all by herself while we're all in Yorkshire. It does take a village. I'm very lucky to have the most amazing people around me, because otherwise all of the vlogs would be me crying at home, guys, about
God.
how I can't do anything.
I forgot that obviously none of us will be there for
None of us will be there.
But Dad will be there.
Dad, which is a hindrance. Dad will be there streaming at 8 AM when Nat's trying to get them in. It's all
Yeah, I
fun
think
and
almost
games.
easier to house sit than it is to just come like twice a day, every day, 3 times a day, every day. Because when
Yeah.
you're house sitting, like, you just get a bit pranky if you're not there. Whereas if you're house sitting, you're there, so you just look out the window.
Oh, you're welcome to house sit, King Kenny.
He does need it.
He does need it. You'd have to cook for him, Nat. Avoid the lasagna.
Lasagna gave Pete food poisoning.
Pete to this day claims that King Kenny gave him food poisoning from lasagna, which I would no. So there must have been about 12 of us there that night. No one else got ill. King Kenny is actually quite a good cook. We're all going on a combined training holiday. Thank you, Nat.
Chuckasy Mac.
Excuse me, Mac. Well,
That's all he says.
Chuck Mac.
Get rid of that Mac.
Gosh, it is warm. Got a warm bum on this saddle now.
Right. Sorry about her, Marge. She's got a sweaty bum on you.
She says, does she have to come?
It's the final showjumping round, and guess what? We're trot jumping crossbows! Yay! So you may notice these jumps look a bit smaller, and you would be correct. So Marge actually is doing the 90. I don't know if I'd explained that before now, but basically, well, she was recovering from her virus, so it seemed silly to come out and do our first meter together. But also, there were not that many people in the meter class, so it would have been impossible to have got all the dressages done and all of the jumping done in time, basically. So Marge is doing the 90, but it still very much counts in the competition because it's the exact same course and the height doesn't really matter. So we have done our little cross poles, and then we go in for our little upright. Now Marge is very, very different to my girls in the way of going, and she doesn't really appreciate being chased and hurried and going on long ones in defences, or at least that's what I've sort of found in my time riding her. So I have to be quite careful and quite patient not to override and not to rush her and not to like ask for silly strides a way out, because then I find that we end up not getting there, or Marge is like, no, we're gonna actually put in a stride here, and then it all gets a little bit messy. So this was actually a really good day for me in terms of getting used to swapping between the ponies, because we've done a few events recently where we've had multiple ponies. Guys, I've got a cat with me now that I think is potentially going to start making noise, so I'm terribly sorry. We've had a few different events recently where I've been riding 2 of them, and it is great practice to just learn how to go between them and adjust, because all of them do have very different ways of going and very different preferences to riding, so very, very handy. And then we do our little cross pole oxer, jump that very nicely, so then come around to a square oxer. Staying patient, Meg. Very nice. Right, I think we were now ready to start our course. Come on, Margie Moo, can we make it 3 clears in a row? I mean, with this approach, it doesn't look likely, does it? I rode that quite badly. Quite sloppy from me. Definitely needed to get her straighter and actually get to the middle of the fence. Not a great start. However, we then go over that oxer, and I think I've finally managed to nail that dog leg. That was definitely the smoothest. I think I actually turned slightly earlier. It's amazing what you learn, isn't it, guys, from doing the same test 3 times and the same round of jumps 3 times. Very handy indeed. Ever so slightly off that, and then probably didn't need that extra stride there. I think in the middle we had that slight miscommunication, and Marge came back to me a little bit too much, and then I was like, oh gosh, come back even more. And then we come to this double. I believe we added a stride. Yeah, we added a stride, which honestly Marge is so good at it, and it is, I'm finding her preference to go on a shorter one rather than a long one, that I've now kind of accepted that actually she is like a cat when it comes to popping strides in and getting over fences. So I kind of just let her do her thing and try and stay soft on top. Little change of leg there. Really pleased with how she was jumping this day though. She's just, I mean, she's so smart. She just looks really, really cool, really neat, really effortless. And then to this spooky one. Way! 3 clear rounds in a row. Bet you didn't think you'd see that on this channel, guys.
I stumble and I can't get up, fall into the song. This time I think I had enough. I'm drowning in doubt. Lights fading, but I'm holding on. I can't escape the fall this time. It's enough. Pushing back every step I take, fighting myself with every break. Feel like I'm cutting the undertow. You thought you had me hooked, but I'm on the track. I'm down with the drama.
Guys, we might have just made history there. I don't think I've ever jumped 3 clear rounds on 3 different horses in my life. Which is unfortunate because now I feel like I've used up all my clear rounds.
No, not with this one you haven't.
Not in this one.
This one only knows how to do clear rounds.
Oh mate, why did you say that?
Sorry.
You're an idiot.
No, it's alright. Don't be so superstitious.
All right, Han, you take her out.
No, I wouldn't. You said it. Yeah. But no, really, please. She's a good girl. She's very knows what she's doing. Yeah, she's mega. And I'm actually really impressed with myself for adjusting to all 3. I think the only one that I could have done a bit better on and been a bit bolder on was Winnie, which bizarrely, normally she's the one I am bolder on. But even so, it was still a nice round, and she was clear on her first ever meter, which I'm chuffed bits with.
Oh yeah.
So no, overall, pretty good day until we get the dressage marks back. Then we might be like, oh, we have much homework to do.
Right.
Cheesecake, guys. We've done well today.
We have.
Polly has bought us brownies, which is very nice. They've come to watch and support.
You couldn't pass me that water over there, could you, darling?
Certainly good. Wow, you ponies have done well with Auntie hand making you your feeds.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And I think, although the dressage marks aren't going to be the best we've ever got, they were really
It's going to be beneficial, yeah.
Why, do you know them already?
No, don't know.
Oh, right.
Guys, look who was trusted to go and get the rosettes.
I know. Wasn't meant to be on camera. Now look at me.
Now look at me.
Honey, what have you? These brownies are insane. Your finger.
I cut
Did you
it.
not hear about it? It's been telling me about it all morning.
Oh, shit.
I heard you'd cut a finger, but he's only told me once.
Oh no, tell me a lot.
Yeah, I couldn't find the plaster, so there's a tissue and an elastic band.
Is it elastic bands or plating bands?
No, that's the last
Oh.
band for my camera.
I thought, how
Big
equestrian.
No, it just kept on bleeding over the cameras. So I was like, I can't be having that.
Oh,
It's
God.
only a tiny little thing.
I know,
Guys, he
I
does
saw
just
it. It's
soldier on this man.
Hey,
Quick shout out to these brownies.
It's like from here to
They're
here,
insane.
guys.
Is it?
Massive cut, I saw it.
Is it a paper cut?
It's like the fish I was catch, like that big.
Shall we do the scores on the doors?
Hang on, let's look at rosettes and should we guess who came first? I think Jam came first.
Yeah. Look at him hiding.
Right, we'll start off with the worst place one.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Winnie. Do you agree? Because we're technically Marge with a different class for jumping the
Okay, yeah,
90.
Who do you think got worse?
Winnie.
You're wrong.
But
Marge in 5th place.
Yeah, mate.
Marge in
You
5th.
got 66. So who you were?
Honey!
Your winner.
Thank you.
Well done.
The only thing I did think is this, the other stuff was nice, but she just looked quite, I mean, good, but just quite like, let's go.
That is interesting.
Quite buzzy.
Oh god, that's a bit worried for Frickley, I'm not gonna lie.
I think I won this
No,
one.
because you had Spurs on, you're going to take them off.
I won this one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Winnie came second.
Winnie in 2nd.
67. I think I said 67.
No, Han said 67.
Did you?
Oh wait, no. Yeah, Han said 67 on Winnie. Oh my
I
gosh.
won that one as well then. I can't remember what I said.
Yeah, I said 67.5.
Yeah.
Han said 67.
65.
Thank you guys, thank you. Thank you.
And your number one girl.
Oh my
One.
baby. What
So
did you
Jamie
get?
came first with 69.2.
69.2.
I said 71.
I said, 70 something.
I think I said 69.
You might have won that one.
I have that
I
one.
lost.
Oh, Pete, darling, how does it
Well,
feel?
we'll double check everything. We'll get whoever's in.
So I don't know if I said 70 or 69.5 because I went quite close to you with that. I'm not convinced I won
Maybe
Winnie's.
that's true.
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
not
remember.
convinced I won Winnie's. I can't remember.
Anyway, there we go. Oh, brownie.
69.2. Yeah, the brownies are really good. Interesting. So what did Winnie get again, sorry?
Winnie got 67.
Okay.
Marge got a 4.
Where? For her canter.
No, for the second time.
That's which cantered.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, broke last loop, yeah. Yeah. And then she got a 8 for her centre line and halt.
She says, oh, by the way, guys, I am good at dressage. I'm just going to tell you now.
Just FYI at the end, watch this. I'm a pro. Because I'm too good to be here, Meg.
To be fair for Margie, she was the most rushed, poor gal. Because I literally got off Winnie jumping, legged it to her, and then had
And you had
to.
Spurs on, and you don't usually wear Spurs with her.
No.
And you were a bit more like, because this was a training thing, so you were a little bit. We expected
True. When she tried to block through left shoulder, I was like, no, and she reacted.
Well, I mean, I'm happy because I won.
Oh my word, have you been to
Jamie got an
Africa?
8
Yeah,
Wow.
I went to Horizon.
entrance.
Oh,
So
my
we just-
centre lines are good.
So you
I'm doing an
start
advert
on
by the way,
Jan
Han,
and
sorry.
finish on-
I'm doing an
on
advert for
March.
Horizon Horseback.
Sorry.
And my name is...
This is an unpaid advertisement
Meg.
for Horizon Horseback.
Stole your bottle.
Take it away.
Horizon Horseback. Safari.
Have you ever wanted to go to Africa?
For 10 days
Have you wondered if elephants are really as big in real life?
and
Do you want to
scary.
get engaged?
Have you got no imagination for a proposal, so you're just going to do it on a work trip? I'm glad you missed my really nasty comment.
What's that? What did you
Because it
say?
was actually the best proposal
It
of
was
my
quite
life.
nasty, it's nothing.
What did you say? The worst proposal?
No, I said,
Get engaged on a work trip.
Yeah,
said if you got,
basically you've
got no.
You said...
imagination, so you got.
So you've lied to me, but now or previously? Because you said it was the best engagement you could ever think of.
It is. It actually was. I rewatched that video the other day and I cried. It's very
Did
cute.
you? You cried because you weren't there, or you cried because...
Cried because I thought as if I've agreed to marry him.
Fair.
Whoop whoop! Well done, team. We are home. 1 pony in the box. 2 pony in the box. 3 pony in the box. Our little winner chicken dinner. Very, very happy. Happy with all of them. Happy with Hanny, happy with Natty, happy with Peter. Yeah, no, all in all, very, very good. PT, Jamie won on 69 point something. Winnie was second on 67 point something. Marge was 5th on 66 point something. Yeah, she was in a slightly different section. There were more people in that section. However, the accident of canter was very costly. And I remember there was a point after we'd gone into canter, she goes into canter and she goes, I'm going to sit behind your leg. And I was like, no, you're not. And she went, she popped her head up there. She went, woof, in the test. So that'll be another point where we'll have lost marks. But all very, very successful. Very pleased I went because I actually had a chance to get a little bit stuck in and work through some things that I've just been trying to cover up for the whole season, to be honest. I think it was very useful. Winnie, 100%, I want to take her again. Not going to have time to take these 2 before Frickley. But yeah, all really good. Chuffed with the show jumping. So pleased. Could have definitely been bolder on Winnie, but actually really, hey Clem, Really pleased with really pleased with Jam. Jam's my favourite round of the show jumping, actually. Jam, I think you're just star of the vlog today, my love. You smashed it. But Winnie jumped superbly. Really happy. There was I think it was 2 fences that I got a bit of like brain fog, and I went to my hand instead of trying to wait for the fence to come to me. And Marge was just a superstar. Marge is she's so cool. So cool to jump. She kind of just does it all for you, really. She's a legend. I love the fact that all of them are like, well, I've been competing today. Yeah, and they're like all stroppy. And it's like, you all have, you just don't know. And then Winnie did do a big Winnie to Jammy and Marge getting back. So she's probably like, where on earth have they been? Anyway, right, live, laugh, love you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching all 3 ponies compete. Did they finish in the order you expected? I hope people have commented at the start, not the end. Don't you comment at the end when you want to know the answer. Right, live, laugh, love you. Bye!